Hello, hello. It is Direct Mail Monday, October 22nd, 2018. Steve Sipress here, and look what I got. What arrived in my mailbox via priority mail, telling me that I am a priority to the sender. And the sender is none other than one of my favorite clients of all time, Jon Bockman of Bockman's Auto Care. So I am extremely hopeful that Jon isn't, since he's flying without a net here, that he isn't disappointed in my response to his piece. I'm hoping that whatever's inside this package is as fun as what's on the outside. So I hear from people all the time, and I talk about it here, that's lesson number one, is doesn't matter how much you pay the best copywriter in the world and how irresistible your offer is that you've worked on and tested and tracked for years. If your piece doesn't get opened, if your email doesn't get opened, if your social media post doesn't get read, then it doesn't matter. Won't work. So number one, you got to get the piece opened. You got to get an email opened. You got to get a social media piece clicked on. Whatever it is, whatever way you're using to get your message out there, that's the last W of the WOW strategy, the way that you choose to use your marketing. In this case, the way is through direct mail, mailing something directly to your prospect or your customer, client, patient, member, because they are, of course, a prospect for repeat sales and for referrals. So everyone, of course, to a sharp marketer is a prospect. And so in this case, not likely to be a prospect of Jon Bockman, who owns an auto repair shop in Sycamore, Illinois, about 2,000 miles away from me. So unfortunately, if our car breaks down, we are not likely to say, man, I got to get a tow truck to tow the car 2,000 miles there and 2,000 miles back. However, Jon knows that I record a Direct Mail Monday video every Monday and was eager to get his piece featured on it. So here it is, and without further ado, let's go. This is a fantastic way to get your piece opened. Mail it in something fun and interesting. Also, it's soft and crinkly, and so I don't know, kind of like Christmas. Is that not an attitude you want your prospect to have when they receive whatever it is you're sending them? That, hey, this is like Christmas? That's awfully tough to do if you are under the mistaken impression that direct mail doesn't work or it's just an old fuddy-duddy way of doing things. So I guess you're going to email people all their Christmas gifts. You could. You could get all kinds of gift cards and just send them emails. Merry Christmas. There's nothing under the tree this year because, you know, physical items, that's old school. This is the modern age with media, direct. Maybe I just put my iPhone under the tree and you can click on all the images and look at your gift cards or, whatever. I digress, but in case you didn't get the point, direct mail works, and this is one of the main reasons. I'm feeling like it's kind of like Christmas. What's in that package? I got to know. It seems like fun. It seems interesting. I got to open it up. So even if Jon is simply mailing out a sales letter, the copy, the words, the persuasive piece itself, he's very smart to mail it along with something that gives this package some depth and some fun smushness to it, and also to put it in this fun, intriguing envelope, which might cost an extra 42 cents instead of a blank envelope. But so many people tell me, oh, I tried direct mail, and, my prospects, it doesn't get to them because my prospects are doctors, lawyers, business owners, the secretary doesn't get to them. You think a secretary might put this on your prospect's desk, even if they're a doctor or a lawyer? I mean, it just screams this is something personal and something you ought to have on your desk. If you're a screener, if you're a professional, a doctor, an attorney, a dentist, whatever it is, and your secretary is opening packages like this when they arrive in your office, you got a problem. You have an overly active gatekeeper. So this gets through to the decision maker, to the recipient, to the one you want. So that's number one. And of course, if you're mailing it to consumers, of course it gets through, and it likely gets more attention than anything else. I mean, my mailbox has a whole bunch of postcards and who knows, and flyers and junk stuff I call junk, like money mail or save $1 on a Big Mac or whatever. And then this is in there, man. Now, I did receive this a couple of weeks ago, and then I was off to a week in Tampa, and then I arrived back Monday evening. So for 2 Mondays in a row, even though this was already here and I was itching to see what's in it, it wasn't, the timing wasn't right for a Direct Mail Monday video. So here it is without further ado. So all of that sounds like I'm just going off on a tangent, but hopefully you get the point. I've been itching to open this thing. How many people are itching to open emails you send? Or itching to see the next tweet you send out? Unless you're the President of the United States, there's certainly millions of people itching to see the next one of those. But I digress. And maybe I don't digress. I mean, that's important. That's one of the reasons. It's still hard for me to say it and believe it, but the guy is the President of the United States. I mean, he built up this following that was itching to see what his next tweet was going to be. And when he arrives at all these rallies he continues to do, what's he going to say? He could say anything. So people stay glued to his stuff. How about yours? This could be anything. Jon Bockman might send me anything, and I know he does. John sends out all kinds of incredibly interesting, really cool marketing. And so I know that his prospects are sitting there going, I wonder what John's going to send next. In this case, I wonder, but wonder no longer, Kimo Sabi, because here we go. And I got to tear into this thing. And, I should have thought of this ahead of time. Maybe it's time for the old Rhino of the day, the Rhino letter opener. However, since this is plastic, I might need to default to a scissor. Yeah, I'm not going to. Oh, look at that. Oh, what a fool, as if I haven't sent enough of these to know. There's a perforation here near the top. So it perforates and it easily rips open. And Viola, there we go. We have the contents of the envelope. And as Johnny Carson used to do, Karnak the Magnificent. Am I dating myself? All right, so step 1 accomplished by Jon Bockman got me to open. Holy crap. Holy crap. You kidding me? Come on now, this doesn't even belong on a Direct Mail Monday. This has not, holy cramoly. Are you kidding me? This has nothing to do with anything he's mailing, unless he's mailing one of these to all his prospects. I don't know. John, what the heck is going on? Check this out. This is a throwback jersey. Number 12, the New York Jets, the team I used to be a fan of before the NFL team owners became the dumbest collection of owners of any business known to mankind, and they actually allow their employees to protest while they're working. I mean, it's hilarious. And so I could not keep track anymore of which team and players I no longer wanted to be a fan of, so I just decided the heck with it, and I found better things to do every Sunday, including yesterday. Had a beautiful day with my beautiful wife, Michelle, and I don't miss the NFL for 1 second, but since this is a throwback jersey, number 12, and check this out, I can see through the crease, it is actually signed. Yeah, I recognize the handwriting. I'm sure that's authentic because that's Joe Namath, number 12 handwriting, and then it's signed again. I see it over here on the green. It's signed in black with Joe Namath. And I thought it said HOF 85, which Hall of Famers, yeah, down here on the bottom, which Hall of Famers like to sign with the year they got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So there's HOF 85 on the bottom. And so, holy cramoly, this is an actual, authentic, hand-signed by Joe Willie Namath himself. Holy cramoly. I just got to smell the thing. It doesn't smell like he wore it. Well, that's not why I was smelling it. And it doesn't smell like it's from 1985 or the 70s or the 60s. Namath was drafted in 66 and started with the Jets and finished his career up with the Rams. But these are the glory days, the one and only Super Bowl, although I don't know if they won last year because I didn't watch, but I probably would have heard of it. The only one Super Bowl the Jets have ever won and likely ever to win. I'm pretty sure who knows if they even have a win this year, maybe one. But how cool is that? Thank you, Jon Bockman. So that is cool. Now I guess I have to ask the question, and we got a letter included in here. Got to ask the question for those of you out there that have customers, clients, members, patients. Do they think as much of you, of how cool you are, that they send you incredibly cool gifts like this? I don't even want to like go and look this up on eBay or something about holy crap, holy moly, what this must be worth. Jon, you are awesome. I wish clients like Jon Bockman on every consultant. And holy cramoly, I am floored. So let's see, we have an official letter, a letter on official Bockman's Auto Care Stationery right there. Hand signed by the one and only Jon Bockman himself. And I am honored that he calls me your friend. And let's see, should I read this? All right, I'm going to read it. I still remember the first day I met you. Oh, crap. Let's see if I can get through this. We were in Chicago at a Dan Kennedy boot camp. I do remember that. That was the first ever GKIC boot camp hosted by Bill Glazer himself in Chicago. And they had a couple of hundred entrepreneurs, business owners in the room, and I had personally put in about 180 of them. And I remember that day was great, and that was the day that I first met you, Jon, even though I'd already seen your stuff in, like the GKS Dan Kennedy had put it in his newsletter. Like you were doing some fun stuff, and every time I'd reached out to you, you were like over an hour away, or almost a couple hours out west from where I held my events and such, and so I really was pleased to meet you in person. That was very cool. I do remember that. Jon says, moving on, you hosted an after-meeting workshop. I do remember that too. That's another lesson for another day, by the way, but it's a fantastic strategy that I have employed, making multiple six figures of income. It's to hold an event at someone else's event. In fact, I just did it last week or the week before when I was in Tampa. I did a presentation in my hotel suite after the event had ended for the day, and had people show up and gave them a free presentation. So to hold a presentation at someone else's event, in this case, I rented out a room and booked a room down the hall from where Dan Kennedy was doing his event. I gave a bonus event. I gave everyone a free Dan Kennedy book who showed up. So that cost me, I don't know, a few $100. Booked the room for another 500 or so. And probably for less than $1,000, I filled the room with 50 or 60 prospects and probably got about, I don't know, 5 or 10 clients out of it and made multiple six figures. So was it worth the $1,000 and the couple hours? And it wasn't just a couple hours of the actual bonus event. There was a lot of planning, obviously, that went into it. But was it worth it? In my case, yes. Jon says, I signed up for the Chicagoland's Sharpest Entrepreneurs Mastermind group that night. That I didn't remember. So Jon is one of them. So there's a story I'm telling, and Jon is one who came and got your free Dan Kennedy book and got some free information and free training at my my after the meeting workshop, bonus workshop. You know, the 80-20 rule, right? If 80% of the attendees of your event, your webinar, a video like this, anything at all, are not becoming your clients, they all still got to go home saying, man, that was fantastic, got some great information, thank you, Steve, or thank you, fill in your name, when you host any kind of event. So my number one goal is that everybody leaves remembering what a fantastic event it was and how much great advice and help they got. But then 20% of the people are going to want more. And they're going to be even happier, like Jon Bockman is so happy that I'm guessing that the 80% that left that room without becoming my client and getting more help did not even make enough money that they could have even bought one of these for themselves, not to mention the multiple 6 or over 7 figures probably that Jon made as a result of his smart decision to become my client, if I do say so myself. I am known as Straight Talk Steve. I'm just going to say it straight. Brilliant decision by him. And enough to say, man, you know, let's just send this gift for no reason out of the blue. For a reason, I'm sure. Let me read on. Since that encounter and joining the group, I've been able to grow my business leaps and bounds, taking me from a struggling auto repair shop owner. Well, I guess I'm just reading this. I'm just going to keep reading. I mean, it doesn't seem to be getting into too much detail, but Jon has shared his story and his testimonial. It's on my website, stevesipress.com. You can read it. He talks. The word struggling here is an understatement of where Jon was. To someone who has money in the bank and paying for private college for my kids, and holy cramoly, giving gifts like this. My goodness. And I can honestly say, I just love when people say I can honestly say, as if every other time they don't say that, they're being dishonest. But I can say that Jon, it's not too much of a stretch that when we first met, you were not in any financial position to buy even 1/10 of spend as much as 1/10 of this on a gift for anybody. Unfortunately, probably including your wife and your kids. And now, what a great transition to see, transformation. Let's see. Enclosed is an autographed Joe Namath jersey. Hope you still like the Jets. I do not still like the Jets, but since this is from the Jets of my childhood, before some of the players and all of the owners became total idiots, I do love the Jets of the Joe Namath days. You'll notice that there are 2 signatures, one in black and one in silver. I did notice that. After he signed the first autograph in black, he noticed it didn't stand out enough, so he ran out to his car and grabbed the silver Sharpie for the second signature. Is that awesome or what? Is Joe Namath awesome or what? So he signed that first one with the HOF 85 in black, which I did see in the green, right there on the 2. And then he ran out to his car and got a silver Sharpie, and he signed it again in silver, Joe Namath, number 12. So you got to love these guys. He just signs it 12 on the 12. And then Joe Namath 12 again on the 12, because that's how they sign it. And damn. Now, did you get, John, if you're watching, Jon Bockman is here. Jon Bockman, I cannot thank you enough. How awesome is this? Hope you like the jersey. Hope is an understatement, my friend. How awesome is this? How awesome are you? I got to ask, though, did you not have someone grab your iPhone or whatever phone or camera and take a photo of him signing the jersey, or even the video? Even better, would have been a video, and then the video would have seen, you would have posted it and gone, check this out. He's saying, oh, first of all, I got to ask you, wasn't he signing? Was he at a signing? Wasn't Joe Namath you went over to see him for some reason, you, who are a Bears fan, I know, and in fact, for people who don't know, Jon Bockman's dad, when his dad owned the auto repair shop that he took over, the original location, it was out near the Bears training camp way back in the 60s when John was a kid, and George Hallis, who was Papa Bear himself, would stop in and hang out with John's dad in the auto repair shop. And I remember, John, you telling me, and I remember you had I don't remember who it is now, but you had a jersey up on the wall of a bear. That the Bears were like hang out with John's dad. How cool is that? But were you at I'm guessing not. I mean, if you were at a signing, wouldn't you think Joe would have already had the silver Sharpie, or he would have signed like up here on the white or something? Or how did this happen? And like, how awesome is that? Phil Breakfield's here. Oh, a lot of people in here. Man, I can't see everyone up on the list, but Jeremy Danley's here, Phil Breakfield. Phil says Jon Bockman is one class act. And even Phil knows that's understatement of millennium. Never wavers, always ready to serve. Greatest guy I know. I'm just going to like that right now. Look at that. And Jon Bockman, hope you like the jersey. Bobby Balin is here. Bobby Balin, who is a childhood friend of mine back from when Joe Namath was playing for the Jets. And John is here, and thanks for the likes. Oh, I see Jeff is here, Jim is here, and a bunch of other people. I was like, can't scroll back up. John says, how cool is this? Oh, so John, you're saying he's a client of your friend in Florida. And was this when you were telling me you were going to Disney World? No, you haven't gone yet, I think. Or was that last year? You were going or are going to Disney World for a week with your family from Christmas to New Year's. I just remember you telling me that. And so was that last year, this year? So wait a minute. So were you not there? Oh, it's on the letter. Were you not there when he signed it and closed it on? After he signed it, he noticed it didn't stand. He ran out to his car. And then, of course, it ends with John. Again, I truly appreciate you and your coaching, your friend Jon Bockman. John, this is awesome. I'm going to cherish this, and I'm going to put this into my my trophy case with my thank you notes for my clients, which is always awesome to get. And holy cramoly, I do have somewhere in a box or a hefty bag or something like all kinds of Jet stuff. However, this one is not going in a bag or a box. because this is not a generic Jets thing, which could have something to do with the current Jets or the future, which I am no longer an NFL fan. But this is a piece of history for me, and this is just awesome. Growing up as a kid, some people might know if you watch all my videos, I did have a poster of Joe Namath up on the wall in my childhood bedroom, and it was very cool. It was Joe Namath dropping back to pass, and you could see the shoes of all the offensive linemen, black high tops, because that's what it was in the 60s, and Joe had the white low tops, which he was the first ever NFL player to wear white shoes in the NFL. Later, Billy Johnson got the nickname Billy White Shoes Johnson for wearing them, but Joe Namath was the first. He was a trailblazer and a rebel and all kinds of things, and he said, I'm not wearing the ugly black high tops like everybody. I'm too cool. I'm Joe Willie Namath. I'm Broadway Joe, and I'm wearing the white high tops. And that message, along with others, indelibly got into me even in my childhood and led to where I am today and how I help my clients today. You got to be a rebel. You got to stand out. You got to do your own thing. You got to have the confidence to say, I am who I am. I don't conform. I don't follow the rules. I don't go to college because that's what you're supposed to do. I don't get a job because that's what 87% of Americans do. I stand out. I'm one of the 13%. Hopefully in your marketplace, to your market, to your customers, clients, patients, members, you're number one undoubtedly, like Jon Bockman is. Jon Bockman, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the 8th year in a row that you have won by reader's choice of your local newspaper in the county, the number one auto repair shop in the entire county by the reader's votes. 8th year in a row, I believe. Maybe the 7th, but I think it's the 8th. In multiple categories, like number one oil change, best auto repair shop, best business in the history of mankind, greatest owner of any business known to mankind. I embellish, of course, those last couple. However, they're true. I just don't think the newspaper allows voting on them. And so your customers love you, your clients love you, everyone in your county loves you, whether they know it yet or not. The relatives, the parents of all the kids that go to the school near you love you, because if they're anything like when I was a kid, my car would break down all the time, and my mechanic was one of my closest. I would see him more often than just about anybody. And so you're a godsend to the parents of those kids, to your community. All the people you help, by the way, John is always giving to the community. He's always giving what I always jokingly refer to as a big check, because he's smart marketer. He's smart enough to print up the big check when he gives a donation to the local this and the local that, local this, local that. He puts these photos on Facebook. I know you must put them on your website and in your social media and on your, well, that's Facebook, and in your newsletter that John, of course, prints a physical newsletter and mails it. Do we have to like drum in the point here on Direct Mail Monday? John is successful because he does all kinds of right things, and he'll be successful and unbelievably successful for as long as he wants to continue in business. Last I spoke to you, John, you had not only moved to your new location you did a few years ago, then you knocked down the wall and doubled the space. And then last time I talked to you, you had knocked down another wall and tripled the space. And I think you were talking about getting your own completely even bigger space. And I think you were going to use it. Am I incorrect? My memory foggy? I know my memory's foggy, but correct me if I'm wrong. You were going to like get a whole new big space or something for working on big commercial vehicles or buses or trucks or something. Was that you? Let's see what else. All that babbling. Maybe John's replied by now. He has. I sent a jersey to my buddy to have Joe sign for me and for you. That is just awesome. John, you're as if anyone doesn't realize you're the greatest. And 9th year. What did I say, the 8th? Holy cramoly, was I wrong. I said the 8th, maybe even the 7th. I apologize profusely. The 9th year in a row. Man. And by the way, when we met, had not even been the first, had it. And you, my friend, put in some extremely sharp marketing into your business, so much that his prospects, his people on his list, look forward to his next marketing piece. They can't wait to see what John sends next, and therefore, in case you don't think they would, they respond like crazy and bring their cars into the shop all the time. John does so many smart things. If you have an auto repair shop, of course, contact John to find out what he's doing, if he'll help you out. And any kind of business you ought to. Maybe I shouldn't tell everyone to contact you, John, and overwhelm you there. You can contact me. Go to helpfromsteve.com, and I'll help you out. And you, too, can become an unbelievably successful business person, and hopefully you're already a super-duper awesome guy. So that will do it. Check that out for Direct Mail Monday, an authentic, doubly signed Joe Willie Namath authentic throwback jersey. Holy crap. I'd have to say that's got to be, I'd have to think about it, but because I get a lot of gifts from clients. I can't think of one that would be better. Sorry to all my other clients. You now have a higher bar that's been set. Yeah, I can't even, no, I don't think so. I mean, if you're out there, correct me if I'm wrong. I apologize, but at least due to temporary insanity, this is all I can remember. I can't even remember any. Well, I do remember, and I'm staring right at a whole bunch of them, actually. And that's, by the way, where you ought to have your gifts that your clients, customers, patients, members send you. Have them somewhere you can look at them, because I say it a lot, and you don't even need me to say it, but you know that the life of an entrepreneur does not go in a straight line. There's ups and downs, a roller coaster, and when you're having those tough times, maybe you got a complaint from somebody, or maybe, you know, something just happened, whatever, it helps to read the testimonials you got. Look at the gifts, and look at the cards, and look at the letters, and look at the presents that your happy customers, clients, patient, members, whatever they are in your business, have given you, and remind yourself of that there is somebody out there that is thankful for what you do. So hopefully you do an excellent job, you have an excellent product or service, and people are motivated to do these kind of things for you. I don't. Hopefully you have as amazing customers, clients, patients, members as I do. Actually, you couldn't possibly, by definition, because I happen to have the world's greatest clients of all time. You hear me say that all the time, and here's proof, my friend. So now I'm going. You know, I'll just apologize to anyone for what I thought was going to be some lessons in direct mail, and look how we used the headline and the offer and the hoo-ha. Well, I shouldn't apologize. It's even a better lesson than anything. Like physical everything, not dead. Physical newsletter, physical sales letter, physical gifts, physical touch, physical thank you card, physical everything. Real stuff people are longing for. John could have sent an email of a photo of Joe Namath, or a video of Joe Namath saying, "Hi, Steve Sipress, you're great." Not nearly, although that'd be cool, but not nearly as cool as that I have this physical piece. So make sure you're doing that with your customers, clients, patients, members, your referral partners, everybody that you, and now's the time of year, folks, because now it's almost the end of October. You got about 2 months left to the holiday gift-giving time of year. What gifts are you going to be giving your customers, clients, patients, members, referral partners, prospects? This is the gift-giving time of year. And John, as the true great marketer is, I know he always does the Thanksgiving cards. So it's actually right around the time, is it not? Probably a week from now, you're mailing out your Thanksgiving cards, which always brings in multiple tens of thousands of dollars. And John has his son hand draw the turkey on the card and all that kind of cool stuff. And again, many reasons why he's a fantastic marketer, and his clients love to hear from him. And Phil says the lesson is gratitude marketing. I guess it is, even as hard it is for me to, very smart, John. Now I realize, very smart for you to say, hey, why don't you open that on a direct mail Monday? Because you know that if I would have opened this off camera, I never would have shared it. I'm not here to boast and to go like, oh, you know, my clients have gratitude towards me. You know, isn't that great? So once again, you did it again, John. You got me to take the action that you know I wouldn't have taken otherwise. And you're the greatest. And thanks you to Phil. Toby's here. Dan is here. Thanks to everybody for being here live on the replay. And I'm going to like all these comments. 9th year is awesome. ninth of as many as you want, John, as you know. And that'll do it for Direct Mail Monday. Boy, that was something. Okay, took me by surprise in the most pleasant way I can imagine. Thank you very much. I'm going to cherish this forever. Thank you, Jon Bockman. Thank you, everybody else. Thank you, Joe Namath. And I'll be back tomorrow with Topical Tuesday. I'll talk about something that's in the news, which means once a week I have to pay attention to what other people consider the news. See, the news to me, here's the news. Jon Bockman, #1 auto repair shop in his county for the 9th year in a row. That's news to me. That's the kind of news I care about. What the whole, not the whole, but some, the fringe, or actually I think a lot of people do care about the news, which is almost all negative and whatever. I'll pay attention to it and I'll pull a lesson out of it, and I'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully you'll join me then on Topical Tuesday. That'll do it for today. Thanks, everybody. Over and out. Bye-bye. Thanks especially to you, John.